What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we got Amanda's 4Runner on the lift because we're going to be putting some Shrockworks rock sliders on, and she's going to be helping me do it. So these bolt-on sliders are from Shrockworks 4x4 products. I'll put a link in the description where I got them. It comes with all the hardware, a hardware list, some general pictures to show you. There's actually a good write-up online for installation if this video isn't what you're looking for. Then we got the sliders here. They come pre-powder coated, and it was under $800 shipped, which is a great price because you'll pay $800 for a slider that's bolt-on and not even powder coated. Pretty sure these guys powder coat in-house, made in Texas, super fast shipping. It was like less than 3 weeks. So great lead times, great product, everything looks good. We'll go ahead and get it installed. Went ahead and removed her factory steps. It's just 6 12mm bolts on each side. You got 2 there, 2 here, and then 2 up front. And that's same on both sides. We went ahead and put the bolts back in to prevent water and dirt and stuff from getting in the holes and hanging out in that rocker panel. Guys at Shrockworks are nice enough to label their stuff. So you can see driver side slider, other side says PR on it. That's driver rear. Went ahead and set this on the lift just so it's sitting right here. We're gonna kind of mock it up, see which holes are gonna line up and where it's supposed to bolt up to. So the front of our slider here, there's 2 holes that will end up bolting to the frame here and here, and those are pre-threaded holes. They've been exposed to the weather and dirt and dust and stuff for a long time, so I'm just taking a thread chaser and I'm gonna go ahead and chase these holes, and there's holes like this on both sides. And then also we will have to take a screwdriver and remove this plastic plug as well as this plastic plug. That way our sliders can bolt up level to the frame. You can just take a little screwdriver like this, kind of get the edge up, and then you get your bigger screwdriver and just go ahead and pop it out just like that. All right, to install our driver side slider, the bottom of the slider is actually going to end up bolting right where the gas tank mounting strap goes. But first there's this metal shield that's in the way. There's 3 12mm. What you're going to want to do is support the shield with a jack. If you're on the ground, you can use a regular floor jack. Here I'm just using a jack stand. And this is just going to kind of help support the weight of the tank. There's still a strap in the back, but it's better to, you know, not stress it too much. So go ahead and remove these 3 12s. Next up, we're going to be removing the 14mm that holds our gas tank strap. You're going to need to use a wrench because the socket can't quite get in there. With our bolt removed, our gas tank strap is down and out of the way. Next, we're going to get the slider held up to the position it's going to be in, and then we're going to go ahead and put those 2 bolts in that are threaded up front. And we're going to use you can either use the help of another person or a jack stand like this, and that's going to support this side of the slider, so we can work on getting that bottom bolt back in and then work on our other bolts. To bolt the front of our slider up to the frame, you're going to grab 2 of the 8x125 bolts, a lock washer, and then one of the standard flat washers. So to get this bolt lined up, your gas tank strap can be a little tricky. What I've done is use my jack, and then actually there's a socket in there that's pushing solely on the gas tank strap itself, so it still allows us to pull the shield down out of the way to get access to the hole. So basically now that that's supported, we're gonna pull the shield down and then get our bolt run up in there and get it started. Okay, so we got all of our bolts started up here. These are the holes with pre-threaded nuts already installed in the frame from the factory. There's actually another bolt down here that I actually did not see before. So you will have 3 up front. And those are just loosely installed, not tightened down yet, because we're still gonna have to get these bolts lined up with their holes right. So this is in there installed just loosely. We're gonna go ahead and put our 3 12s in that hold our gas tank back up. And then from there, we can actually go ahead and remove our jack stand. For our back 2 holes, we're gonna need 2 of the nuts that are on our little tabs here, and then 2 of our larger bolts, and a lock washer, and a regular flat washer. So to get our nut on our little tab here that's gonna go in these holes on top, or on bottom and top, you're gonna have to remove this plug and then get them bent. This is about the approximate shape for the bottom hole, and then this is about the approximate shape for the top hole that I found that works well. So basically, once you get them bent right, you fish it down through here. And then as you can see, when you're fishing the bolt, you can see the nut kind of appearing through that bottom hole there, and then you can go ahead and get your bolt started. So I guess they didn't have enough room to put a gusset right here. So basically they give you this bracket which bolts here, and then sandwiches in between where the slider bolts to the frame, and then that'll act as your gusset. We got our bolt, a washer, and then on the other side we got a washer, lock washer, and the nut that they all provide in the kit. And then once that is started, go ahead and take our nuts. Okay, with our bottom and our top bolts started, you can see our little tabs that kind of hang out here. What I'm gonna do is tighten that up, and then you can go ahead and just kind of bend it and shove it into the frame, and that's just kind of where it'll be. Okay, so that's our driver's side all done over there. We're now on the passenger side. On this side, there's not a third hole here. That is one we will have to drill, but there is 2 threaded holes that do already exist in the frame for there. So we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna hold the slider up to here. We're gonna get those 2 bolts started, support the back with a jack stand, and then we're gonna get those other bolts with the tabs with the nuts and get those all started. Okay, with our passenger side all mocked up, you can see that plug I was talking about, how it just gets the edge there. Basically just take my screwdriver and make a little mark on that thing, and then we'll kind of pull this out of the way and cut that little bit of the plug off. It does clear this bracket. At first I thought I was gonna have to move that, but it does just barely clear that. You just gotta make sure the slider is far enough forward. All right, with a little bit of trimming, now you see we got plenty of clearance there for the slider to actually bolt up flush with the frame. And not be bulged out by this. With your plug notch, you can go ahead and remove it, and then we're going to use these same nuts on these tabs, and we're going to go ahead and line it up with the holes here, here, and here. For the bottom bolt here, what I did, instead of trying to go through that top, I ground down these sides so this would actually fit through here, and then basically just going to go through here and line it up with our bottom one. Go ahead and get that started. And then for our bottom and top bolts, go ahead and fish through. Then we'll go for our top. All right, and then we'll go ahead and tighten all these up as well as our front ones. And then we're gonna go ahead and take a cutoff wheel, and I'm just gonna trim this off and then push it in there. For our bottom bolts here, we're actually only gonna put one in here. This thing's not gonna see any crazy trails. It's not gonna do any crazy rock crawling. So we're just gonna drill one hole. They say make it a 3/8 hole, and then we're gonna go ahead and use our nutsert and go ahead and bolt this up as well. Got our hole drilled, took a little bit of paint and just kind of painted the exposed metal just to avoid some future rust. Go ahead and take your tab and your nut and get that started. And then we'll go ahead and tighten it down. I'll knock this off and push it into the frame. All right, our passenger side is all installed. This is just to show you what the final mounting looks like. Got our plug back in over there. Got our bottom bolt in. These bolts tight. Here's our driver's side. You can see the other hole there. It's optional to add another bolt on each side for more strength. Like I said, this will not be seeing any crazy rock crawling, so I don't think it's necessary. Then this side, our 3 bolts and our gusset. All right, we'll give you a little look at what they look like on the truck. You can see that's about how far they stick out. So they're out wider than the door. This is the one without a kick out. They do have an option where you can get a kick out and it has like dimple plates and all that stuff. It's not what she wanted. She wanted a nice clean look, but still some protection. Here's from above. Still got a nice step that you can step on to get access to the roof if you need to. Then here's the side profile. You can see it's nice and tight up to the truck. It just looks almost factory and super clean, but offers way more protection than the factory running boards did. All right guys, as always, thanks a lot for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. If you got any comments, go ahead and drop them below. Any questions, concerns, and I'll answer to my best ability. And we'll see you guys next time.